Welcome to the breakdown. Welcome to the breakdown. Today we got Dana White's Contender Series 2022 Week 7. Let's break this down. Starting with the first fight, we got Teresa Bleda versus Nayara Maya. It was a pretty good fight. I was pretty entertained. The girl came in there looking pretty like a Viking. You know what I'm saying? I like the haircut. She had the sides cut, kind of like how I do, and she had the cornrows. She was looking pretty tough. Had some nice size on her. For the weight class, I think she has some nice size on her. And she's young. I think she was like 22. I don't remember how old she was, but they were emphasizing that she would be the youngest fighter in the UFC at that weight class if she had won. And yeah, she ended up winning. Like she basically dominated the whole fight. It was a little sloppy, but there wasn't a time in the fight where I thought she was gonna lose. The other girl was trying a lot of knee bars and stuff like that, but that girl, she wasn't going. She wasn't going. The only thing I would say is, I don't know. She knew Maya was like a submission threat. She kept what I felt like taking it places it didn't need to be. Like she was trying to grapple. I felt a little too much when she could have easily just stood and struck with her. But yeah, she looked like she'd be a good fighter in the future. Dana White ended up not giving her a contract, so you know, I'm sure she's gonna get out there, get even better, and I'm sure we'll see her in the UFC one day. But maybe when she's a little older, maybe it's an age thing. She's over here emphasizing how old she is. You could see the immaturity in her fighting. Definitely, it wasn't like she sucked, but like, yeah, she's not the best fighter. So yeah, she didn't get no contract, but she caught that W by decision. After that was Israel Bonfim versus Nariman Abazov. That was a pretty good fight. Ismail went crazy. The thing that stuck out to me the most was Ismail's left hook to the body. It reminded me of like Canelo. That was like I'm sure he watches Canelo. That was like straight out of a Canelo fight. He just kept getting Abazov with that body shot. Abazov really didn't have an answer for it. He was the favorite from what I remember, but he definitely didn't look like the favorite in that fight. Like, I don't know. I think he had a little bit of success in the third round, but Bonfim really impressed me. I like the boxing a lot. He knew what to do when he would hurt Abazov, like it wasn't, I don't know. He just knew what he was doing. The guy looked like UFC level caliber opponent. Like he looks like he could be UFC fighters already, and he got awarded a contract, so we gonna see. Depending on who they match him up with, I'd pick him. He looked like a good fighter. So yeah, he won that fight by decision. After that, we had Carl Williams versus Jimmy Lawson. Jimmy Lawson was supposed to be some standout wrestler. I think he's from either Penn State or Ohio, one of those two, one of those big wrestling schools. Right away in that fight, Carl Williams. I picked Carl Williams, and like when I make my picks, I'll post my picks. When I make my picks, I'm not I don't know too much about these guys. They're like most of these guys don't even have extensive records like that. I don't know too much about them. I picked him because he had more MMA experience. I had read about Jimmy Lawson's wrestling experience, but still MMA experience is that's still worth something. You can be the best wrestler in the world, and if you fight somebody who's 10-0 in MMA and you're 50-0 in wrestling, that 10-0 guy in MMA might beat you. He has more experience in the sport you guys are about to do. So that's why I picked him. And from the first round, Jimmy Lawson got taken down right away. The wrestler got taken down right away. That's why I was just telling one of my friends that I was playing UFC. Well, I don't remember what I was doing, but I don't know. But anyway, I was telling my guy, you get a wrestler on their back. Not every wrestler, obviously, but a lot of these wrestlers, you get them on their back, and they're like a fish out of water. Oh yeah, I was telling him about that because of the Usman fight. At a point, Leon Edwards, I think he mounted him. I don't know. He got on top of Usman and like Usman's one of the best wrestlers in the whole UFC. He's definitely top three. You know what I'm saying? Top five. I don't know. He's one of the best wrestlers. But when he was on his back, like I was like, damn, Usman. Like you look a little uncomfortable there. Even though obviously he came back and that wasn't happening again. But for a little bit, I was like, damn, a wrestler on his back. Let's see what they can do there. That's why I think Kobe had so much success because Usman doesn't want to be on his back, especially against a guy like Kobe. Like even when Leon got on top of Usman, he was doing some work to Usman. So imagine if Kobe got onto his back. But yeah, Carl Williams was just better at MMA in a whole. And he knew he had the MMA experience. He was like, oh, if I get this wrestler on their back, this guy's going to be tired as hell. And yeah, Jimmy, by the end of it, he was dead, just like cardio wise. And Carl Williams ran off with the decision and he ran off with a contract. Dana White got him a contract. Carl Williams in the UFC at heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? I could never, I mean, I guess they say never, but I don't think he's championship material or top five material. He can maybe get to that top 10, 15. That's just me guessing. Obviously, I'm not no psychic or nothing. Then after that, we had Gabriel Bonfim, who is Ismail Bonfim's brother. And he was supposed to be better than Ismail Bonfim. Like, he's the one that is really the standout of the brothers. And he fought Trey Waters. Trey Waters was like some Muay Thai or kickboxing specialist. I'm not sure which one. But the guy definitely had some great striking. It was like that guy who maybe was super good striking in a different sport. And MMA striking is slightly different, so you might take a L on the striking, even though it seems like he might have more technique. That's what I was seeing there. Trey Waters looked super slick with it, but Gabriel Bonfim was just better with the MMA striking. And the way it ended is Bonfim choked him out with a Von Flue choke. So that just goes to show a little bit. Trey, I know he was doing some other type of striking sports. So he was probably neglecting a little bit of the ground game and MMA as he was doing those other sports. And when it went to the ground, that showed he got submitted. He tried getting Bonfim in some choke, and Bonfim just reversed it and got him in a choke. And yeah, Dana White ended up giving Bonfim a contract, so we'll see both Bonfim brothers in the UFC. And Bonfim looks super good, definitely. I could definitely see him being top 15. Yeah, I could see him being super good in the UFC. Didn't like go make me go crazy, but I could see him being good in the UFC. I honestly think his younger brother was better than him. That's just my opinion. I think his younger brother will go farther. And then in the main event, we had Vitor Betrino versus what's his name, Rodolfo Bellato. It was a rematch. Apparently, Vitor knocked him out prior. I didn't even know that. I had did research on these guys, and I knew they took L's, and this guy took an L by KO, but I didn't really look at the name. So it was like, oh damn, they had a rematch. I wish I would have knew that because I picked the guy who lost. I bet on him. I was like, I was just going off of I use certain metrics, but I picked him to win. I wish I knew he had got knocked out by this guy. Like his one knockout loss was to the same guy. I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention enough. But yeah, that fight was really good. Vitor Petrino, like I say about him, is he's swole as hell. He throws bombs. Kind of reminds me of like almost like imagine Paulo Costa with wider punches and obviously not the body of a monster. You know what I'm saying? He still had a crazy body because he was really muscular and swole, but it wasn't like Paulo Costa. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a different type of swole, and it was a really good fight. Vitor, he was just throwing wild, had mad confidence, I'm sure, from the first knockout, and he was just giving it to Rodolfo, and Rodolfo was taking it. At one point, Rodolfo was on his back, Petrino's on top of him, just swinging down, and Rodolfo almost gets him in a triangle choke. I was super happy because, like I said, I picked him. I was like, yeah, get him, get him, get him. He gets out of that. Starts beating him up. Most of the time, Petrino was beating him up. There was one point where Rodolfo dropped him, and obviously I was excited, but it wasn't enough. I give Bellato. I give him credit though. I mean, the guy, he definitely can fight. I think they both can fight. They're both UFC caliber to me. Like Bellato. Uh, hmm. I'm trying to think of what he can improve. I don't know. I just think that Petrino guy, he could give some guys some problems. Any guy who's swinging all crazy like that, if you got the athleticism that that guy has, like you could do some work. He looked like he was getting tired, but he was tired and still throwing fast and throwing hard. And he got awarded a contract, so I'm sure he's gonna be doing some work in the UFC too. I'm sure his first fight he's gonna win by knockout. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't surprise me at all unless they give him a wrestler or something like that. But yeah, that's this week's contender. I'm gonna do a breakdown on next week. I'll probably just start breaking down all the fights. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/bone doing work. I'll be playing UFC. Once ESBC Esports Boxing Champion drops, I'm gonna be the GOAT of that. So yeah, check in.